You're cruising at 35,000 feet, sipping lukewarm coffee and scrolling through your phone. Suddenly, a sound like a giant vacuum cleaner sucking up the entire world fills the cabin. Bam! A door blows open. Papers are flying, your snacks have turned into dangerous projectiles, and the cabin is turning into a sub-zero hurricane. Is this the end? Are you about to become a human paper plane? Today, on Quack What Happens, we're diving into the absolute chaos and the surprising science of what really happens if a plane door pops open mid-flight. Grab your oxygen mask because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Before we panic, let's talk about the hardware. You might think airplane doors are held shut by simple latches or electronic locks. You'd be wrong. Think of an airplane door like a wine cork. It's actually wedged into the frame from the inside. When the plane is at cruising altitude, the cabin is pressurized. This means the air inside is pushing outwards with thousands of pounds of force. This pressure literally forces the door into its frame, sealing it shut tighter than a jar of pickles you can't open. To open it, you'd first have to pull it inward, fighting against all that air pressure, and then move it out. It is physically impossible for a human, or even a very strong duck like Quack, to open that door while the plane is pressurized. It's a literal engineered trapdoor that refuses to budge. But okay, let's assume the impossible happens. Maybe there's a structural failure, a freak mechanical glitch, or a massive hole in the fuselage. You don't get the Hollywood suck. You know, the one where the entire cabin is vacuumed out into the blue yonder? That's not quite how it works. Instead, you get something called rapid decompression. The air inside the cabin is screaming to escape to match the thin air outside. It creates a massive roaring wind blast. It's deafening. We're talking about noise levels so high they can instantly cause hearing damage. Loose items, laptops, bags, and yes, that lukewarm coffee, they are all going on a one-way trip out the door. If you aren't buckled in, the force of the air rushing toward the hole can absolutely move you. This is the exact reason why the flight attendants are so annoying about keeping your seatbelt fastened, even when the light is off. It's not just for turbulence, it's for the what-ifs. Now let's talk biology. Once the pressure drops, the oxygen level in the cabin plummets. At this altitude, you have something called time of useful consciousness. It sounds fancy, but it just means your brain has about 15 seconds before it decides to take a nap permanently. This is why those little yellow masks drop down. You don't have time to finish your sentence or check your hair. You pull that mask on immediately. And while you're struggling to breathe, don't forget the temperature. You are at 35,000 feet. Outside, it is around minus 50 degrees Celsius. The moment that door goes, the cabin becomes a high-speed sub-zero wind tunnel. It's an instant, bone-chilling deep freeze. Your skin will sting, and your brain will be fighting both lack of oxygen and the shock of the cold. It's essentially the worst camping trip you've ever been on. Here is the best part. Airplanes are built like flying fortresses. They have redundant systems for almost everything. A single missing door or a blown-out window frame doesn't mean the plane is falling out of the sky. The pilot's #1 priority is simple: get to lower air, quickly. They'll initiate an emergency descent, dropping the plane to around 10,000 feet, where the air is thick enough to breathe. The plane remains structurally sound enough to fly, and once you're in the breathable altitude, the panic subsides. You'll be freezing, your ears will be ringing, and you'll definitely have a story to tell at your next dinner party, but you'll be alive. So, the next time you feel a bit of bumpy air, just remember, you are safer in that metal tube than you are in your own kitchen. But keep those seatbelts on, just in case. Do you have any other bizarre scenarios you want Quack to test out? Drop them in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's keep the curiosity alive. See you next time.